Right, buddy. Manchester United latest news. We'll be talking about a Cole Palmer bid going in from Manchester United and some more reports about that. We'll also have a conversation about Tonali and what the latest update is on that. There's been some talks and reports about Bruno Fernandes and his exit, but we'll start off by talking about the Cole Palmer stuff. So it came out again, this time from Samuel Luckhurst, who is credible to an extent if you want. I mean, when he was at the Manchester Evening News, he was pretty credible. But this is what has been reported. Cole Palmer would be open to joining Manchester United as he is increasingly disillusioned with life at Chelsea and is primed to leave this summer. Real Madrid and Bayern Munich are interested. So that's what came out. Then it followed up. He's becoming disillusioned. He'll be open to joining the Reds, although United priority position this summer are the midfield and the left-hand side. Now, what I would say about Cole Palmer is there's a lot of positives about signing Cole Palmer. Premier League experience, ridiculous goal record. Obviously, this season's not been the greatest for him because he's obviously been injured quite a bit for Chelsea. But if you look at Bruno's successors, Cole Palmer is definitely up there. Now, again, the main downside for me would be the injury concerns that he does have. This season alone, he's picked up 4 or 5 injuries for Chelsea, which has kept him out for a period of time. There's no doubt in his talent, and he did grow up as a Manchester United fan. I think that's something that's key. And United obviously getting to the Champions League would obviously allow that deal to happen. But again, I think he has like 7 or 8 years left on his deal. Chelsea ain't going to let him go for cheap. He is their talisman, he is their star player whenever he is fit and available. But I think he is a talented player. If you're looking at players to replace Bruno, he would be definitely up there. I think there's been a lot of talk on social media driven by like his friends and stuff like this, linking him with the move to Manchester United from Chelsea. And again, if we are to replace Bruno, which the reports right now are suggesting that Manchester United are not looking to replace Bruno and are doing everything they can to keep him at the club. And the leadership group has told Bruno Fernandes they want him to stay, believing that showing him the club is heading in the right direction. Fernandes wants to decide his future after the World Cup, while United will prefer an indication before the tournament. He has a release clause of £57 million, which is available to clubs only overseas. So listen, if Bruno is to leave, it'd be massively disappointing. I think he's still got a lot more to give at the highest level, and we've seen it this season. But Cole Palmer is an adequate and viable replacement, and someone who, for me, is a fantastic player and would fit the role at Manchester United fantastically well. The way in which he plays, the chances he creates. Again, injuries and price would be something to definitely look at. But again, Bruno, hopefully he does stay at Manchester United. He's the guy who, of all the players, deserves to win something big at the football club. And he could have had 4 or 5 trophies at the club, but he only has 2. So yeah, next season, if we're in the Champions League, I'm sure Bruno Fernandes will stay, but we'll have to wait and see. But Cole Palmer, for me, talks again. I don't think there's anything too sort of concrete in this, but the talks are still there and have been for a while. We'll see what does happen in the summer. Again, United's priority is not Cole Palmer, but potentially the summer after, with Bruno Fernandes. If he doesn't leave this season, will probably definitely leave then. You definitely can look at bringing him in. Now, Tonali. Manchester United have held talks with Tonali's agent via an intermediary. 25-year-old is open the idea of a move, but wants to finish the season with Newcastle professionally first. So he wants to, talks have taken place. He wants to finish the season with Newcastle professionally first, which again we already know. Tonali is at the top of United's list. In the coming weeks, the feasibility of the operation will become clear. City are also very attentive to Tonali's situation. He is valued at €100 million. At the top, Tonali, we know. On Bruno Guimaraes, there has been no talks. We know that they appreciate him, but not in active talks, and have not set any contract proposals. Manchester United met with the agent a few weeks ago, but it doesn't mean they are negotiating for Bruno G. The agent represents a lot of players, and it's completely normal for a club like United to talk to these sorts of players. So Tonali, again, new talks, new consideration about him. United having talks with the intermediary, they're kind of seeing out the feasibility of a deal. I do like Tonali. Is he a good player? Yes. Is he my number one choice? No. But he's definitely someone that United do have tabs on and looking to get from Newcastle. It's going to be a very difficult deal to do, and it's not going to be an easy deal. I think United are trying to do everything they can, ultimately, to bring in quite a few midfielders this season, and we are still assessing our options, whether that is Bruno G, which doesn't look like that's going to happen at the moment, Tonali, Anderson, Wharton, Baleba, João Gomez. There's going to be a lot more names mentioned. United are just trying to be early, be ahead of the curve, because we know City are probably going to need a midfielder. Rodri, he's looked good all right this season, but again, long term, they clearly want to bring someone in, whether that's to replace Bernardo Silva, I don't know, but Anderson and Tonali have been 2 players, and Bruno G that they have mentioned. Arsenal, again, they've been linked to quite a few midfielders. Liverpool I think, all right at the moment. Chelsea will probably be on the search for new midfielders. So a lot of clubs will be interested, not even in the Prem, but Europe as well. So yeah, getting midfielders is going to be key, and United just making sure that we have all the options available, talking to players, see if they want to join the club. And Tonali is someone who is definitely is an option, and is definitely someone United want to bring in. Now to conclude, this has been an update from Michael Carrick from Fabrizio. Manchester United maintain a good relationship with the management role for Manchester United, and he is a serious candidate for the permanent role. At the moment, there's been nothing agreed, and United will conduct a thorough process to appoint someone at the end of the season. Carrick or not Carrick, players are really happy with Carrick, speaking publicly about him and in private. So Carrick does seem like he has the upper hand at the moment. The performances have been in his favour, and they have been good. Only one defeat in 10 games, beating Arsenal, beating City, beating Spurs for quite some time, which United haven't done, and I think the positives have been there. Now again, it's too premature to make a deal about Michael Carrick, but he's definitely someone who is highly rated, so we will have to wait and see what does happen with that. I think there were all the kind of paths that lead into Michael Carrick, as I've said before, De Zerbi pulling out, Enrique, Tuchel, Ancelotti, like all these managers pulling out the race. It does seem like United will go with Carrick, and this is a lot of pressure on his hands because, again, if he takes that permanent role, it's going to be good for him. I think it could be the right step in his career, but it is going to be something that's going to be very difficult. He's already managed United in a short space of time, and he probably does understand the pressure that it is. But we will have to wait and see what happens. Personally, I think there are both downsides and upsides of keeping Carrick. I think the downsides are the fact that he is a relatively inexperienced coach. Obviously, you look at some of the positives. He knows the players very, very well. He's been at the club before. He would have obviously had this running now where he got to know a lot of the players. If we do finish in the Champions League, again, United first time in the Champions League in quite some years. So, yeah, we will have to wait and see what happens with that. I think it's definitely something interesting that will happen. And we'll find out more about Carrick into the season, towards the end of the season, going into next season, about the managerial situation. But I think right now all the roads are leading to Michael Carrick to join Manchester United on a permanent basis. But let me know your thoughts on Cole Palmer, on the Tonali and Fernandes situation, and obviously Michael Carrick in the comments section below.